God's message to Jonah. Once upon a time, God spoke to a man named Jonah. God said, "Jonah, go to the city of Nineveh and tell the people there to stop doing bad things." Now, let's see what Jonah decides to do. Now let's see what happens next. Should Jonah stay in Nineveh to help the people, or should he go back home? Path 1. Jonah goes to Nineveh. Great choice. Jonah decides to obey God and heads to Nineveh. When he arrives, he tells the people to stop doing bad things. And they listen. God is very pleased with Jonah's obedience. Path 2. Jonah decides to run away. Oh no! Jonah decides to run away instead of going to Nineveh. He gets on a ship heading in the opposite direction. But then, a big storm hits the ship. The sailors are scared and wonder why this is happening. Should Jonah tell the sailors the truth about running away from God? Or should he stay silent? Should Jonah tell the truth or stay silent? Jonah stays in Nineveh. Jonah stays in Nineveh and helps the people learn more about God. The city becomes a better place, and everyone is happy. God is very proud of Jonah. Jonah goes back home. Jonah goes back home, feeling happy that he did what God asked. He learns that following God's instructions is the best way to live. Well done, Jonah. Jonah tells the truth. Jonah tells the sailors the truth about running away from God. The sailors are surprised but thankful for his honesty. They decide to throw Jonah into the sea to calm the storm. And guess what? A big fish comes and swallows Jonah. Inside the fish, Jonah prays to God and says he's sorry. After 3 days, the fish spits Jonah out onto dry land. Jonah then decides to go to Nineveh and deliver God's message. The lesson here is that being honest and asking for forgiveness is important. God always gives us another chance. Path 2. Jonah decides to stay silent. Jonah decides to stay silent, and the storm gets worse. The sailors are very scared and don't know what to do. Eventually, they find out Jonah is the reason for the storm, and they throw him into the sea. Just like before, a big fish comes and swallows Jonah. Inside the fish, Jonah prays to God and says he's sorry. After 3 days, the fish spits Jonah out onto dry land. Jonah then decides to go to Nineveh and deliver God's message. The lesson here is that running away from our problems doesn't help. It's better to face them and trust God. Thank you for helping Jonah on his adventure. Remember, kids, making good choices and trusting God's plan is very important. Join us next time for another fun and interactive Bible story. See you soon. Engage in a discussion with Mom and Dad regarding today's lesson. Our daily affirmations. 1. I make good choices with God's help. 2. I listen to God and my parents. 3. I choose to be kind and share with others. 4. I can ask God for guidance when I'm unsure. 5. I am brave enough to do the right thing. 6. I learn from my mistakes and try again. 7. I trust God to help me make wise decisions. 8. I am responsible for my actions. 9. I seek forgiveness when I make a wrong choice. 10. I bring joy to others with my good choices.